Hey guys, it's Gamer Gods Fail again. Um, this has to do with my Watch Dogs review. Obviously, it's my title. But after re-watching it again, looking back at what I said, I kind of felt like it wasn't enough. I mean, this review that I just did, um, I had very little time to do it, and I don't think I had enough time to say everything it is I wanted to say about the game. Just all the things that I thought were the most important stuff to talk about, or as far as debating of the game goes. But I kind of want to do kind of like an extended um, thoughts on what I think. I feel like it wasn't enough information for you guys to really, whether or not you want to buy it or not. Anyway, um, I just want to go over more things about it that I didn't have enough time to the other day while making this. And it was a very stressful day because it was raining all day. So Zach and we had to put the camera in a spot where it wouldn't get wet. Like in a tent or in my garage. Stuff like that. It was very stressful. I mean, it was still pretty fun to do, but it was very stressful. On top of all that, um, we just didn't have enough time to really make a longer, more detailed video. So this is an extension to that, an addition. I just want to go over a few things. Um, First thing is the story. I know I didn't mention the story because to me, when it comes to reviewing a video game, I kind of want to leave the story alone because I don't want to spoil anything. But all I have to say is I thought it was a decent story. A lot of people thought it was kind of bland and not memorable. I can see their point on it being not memorable, but I still thought it was a pretty good revenge type story. It had a lot to do with blackmail. You're kind of like a victim of blackmail throughout the whole thing. You have to do stuff for a bad guy throughout most of it, and and it has a lot to do, like it's very mature. It's a very dark storyline. It has to do with like human trafficking, auctioneers, like human auctions, sell slaves, sex slaves, prostitutions, stuff like that. Just a very, very mature, very dark. Um, and I thought the character Aiden Pierce. I liked Aiden Pierce. I thought he was a good character, and as a matter of fact, I thought the whole cast was great. Great cast, great voice acting. I after looking at the trailers, I thought Aiden would be somewhat of a dipshit, but he's actually pretty emotional. I mean, he has a pretty personal story. Um, so that I was very surprised to see, and I was very, very thankful. I like that type of stuff where a game kind of moves you story wise. Um, Another thing I forgot to mention, basically, I kind of this is more of me forgetting than actually not having enough time to explain it. It's just like the amount of stuff to do, the amount of side quests and like collectibles and stuff that involve like hacking, transporting cars to destinations in a time limit, or um, like taking down bad guys before they reach this certain point, um, like vehicle takedowns and stuff like that, and gang hideouts. Like beat up the leader of the gang and then escape. Whether you do it in stealth or you fight, it's up to you. There's tons of collectibles and stuff. Like if you want to go towards the 100% completion. There's a lot to do. I want to emphasize more on the amount of content that really is in this game. Um, it's not too big of a game in terms of size and exploration. It's just very deep. It's very condensed. Everything's in just squished together, but I think it's really well made in that sense. And there is, despite most of the hacking being like one press of a button, there is occasionally actual mini game hacking where you connect nodes together to get to line them up and stuff like that. They occur during the story when you're hacking into buildings, or when you're hacking into people's computers and spying on them. That happens. There's actual hacking involved. I forgot to mention that. Customization. There's not really much customization. There's no vehicle customization. There's no I mean, like, you can like change the color of your trench coat or whatever, but you actually like you can't really change your clothes per se, just like the color. So that's kind of like an Assassin's Creed trait right there. You can't actually get out of your clothes. You can only like change the color, or at least the older Assassin's Creed games. So the game does kind of have a lack of customization, which is pretty disappointing, as well as like the graphics. I mean, I know the game looked a lot better back at E3 in like 2012, 2013, but then near the end, the graphics, not bad, but not really too impressive either. It's not something we haven't seen before. But then again, a lot of games turn out like that. I mean, like, I remember when Dark Souls 2 was first announced, we saw like videos of it. It looked amazing, only to realize that it was CG, and then it just started getting a little bit worse and worse and worse until the game finally came out, and then it looked pretty much on par or a little bit better than Dark Souls 1. So and I can understand why people are disappointed, because it definitely doesn't look as good as it did before, and that's a fact. I do admit that. But to me, graphics, I don't give one hoot about graphics. I mean, come on. I mean, like, look at Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Remember back when that game first came out? Like, even when that game first came out in like 2004, the graphics I thought were just horrendously bad. But the gameplay was so fun, and it was just so huge, and that no one gave a shit of what the graphics were like, because it was a great game. Well, speaking of Grand Theft Auto, vehicles. You can drive cars, any land vehicle basically, motorcycles, cars, boats. You cannot fly in Watch Dogs. There are no, at least I don't think there are no air vehicles that you can acquire. There are police choppers, but you can't steal them. They just chase you until you lose them. So there are no helicopters, no planes, any of that. But you don't really feel like you need it, because the game's not that big to the point where you have to like travel far ways away. It's just everything's within like land vehicle reach, or boat reach. So, and last but not least, the online. I tried some of the online today and yesterday, mainly today. I find it extremely repulsive. I do not like it one bit. I like the idea of tailing someone and hacking someone without being detected, but it doesn't work. I don't think it's executed right. I mean, like, I would hide in like the most secure spot ever. I'd be like hiding in like a subway tunnel underneath the street with the guy in the street, initialize the online hacking, and then he'd still find me. I don't know if people can cheat by looking at your destination somehow. I don't know. I try my absolute best to hide and stuff, and they can just keep on finding me. And it does like this purple circle of like where they can like see your your location, and the more progress you hack a person's info, the smaller the circle gets, so the easier it is for them to see you. Am I supposed to like just like run around in the small purple circle for like the last 25% of the hacking? Um, I don't know. The online tailing, I like a little bit more than the hacking, but not by much. I mean, you just like tail someone without being detected. I just like I act like a normal AI, but for some reason a player would just like know that. It would just like know my exact location, drive to my location before I even initialize anything. Why? Are people like cheating or something? I don't get it, because I get tailed and I get hacked and I can't see them. As a matter of fact, one time I did spot a guy hacking me and it didn't do jack squat. He just like ran past me like teleported, like randomly teleported like in front of me to like the back of me and just like escaped. I was like, what the fuck? Like, his hacking didn't stop. But whenever I get spotted by someone, my hacking of his info stops. I think this online is broken. I think people cheat. Um, Somehow. I don't know why. I'm not like that. I'm not a modder or anything like that. But I really don't understand it. I mean, I know what to do. I know the rules. I just don't know what the fuck is like going on. Like, it's really not working. And I tried looking on the internet, and like, am I the only one who's having this problem? Because if so, I'll be the first one to say that I think the online just sucks major dick. And the third mode, of course, is the racing, which, as I already told you in my review, my main review, is that I tried to race once and it froze afterwards. And then after my review, I went back, I tried to race again, that same track, and it froze. But then I did like 8 races after that without it ever freezing. I ended up getting a trophy for it, and then that's it. And I didn't really have a problem with the racing, except for the fact that sometimes enemy cars, not enemy cars, but AI vehicles will like pop up like right in front of your racing vehicle, and it just like makes it almost impossible to not get into an accident or not fall off the track or something. And that can kind of break the racing mode as well. Um, yeah, I did not like the online. When I say fuck the online, just play offline. All of it, just like start off. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna get past. I just don't understand at all. For some reason, for some reason they always know my destination. Even when I get into their world, it's like, what the fuck? Like, how do you know where I am? Ah. Is that it? Is that all I wanted to? I think that's all I wanted to talk about that wasn't in my review. Yeah, I think that's it. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's still a great game. You know, I'd still give it an 8.5, but more veer towards the 8 than a 9. Because you know, when I did the review before I touched the online, I was veering towards a 9. Now I'm veering towards an 8. Online really doesn't mean that much to me, because it's just, to me, it's just a very, very, very optional thing, and it's just something that I thought wasn't needed. Um, what could have helped would be like a death match or a team death match or like a team capture the flag with like capture the flag being like hack, stuff like that. They didn't have it. I frankly would have ditched the tailing and hacking for like a death match, team death match, and like the capture the flag mode. But whatever. All I know is if they ever make a Watch Dogs 2, which they really should, because this seems like a pretty successful IP, and I think they should make a sequel, definitely. A bigger, just a bigger, more detailed, use helicopters, stuff like that. Watch Dogs 2. That'd be awesome. Have it set in another city, though. Yeah. What was I gonna say again? About... Oh yeah, if they ever make a Watch Dogs 2, put in Team Deathmatch, capture the flag, and stuff like that, along with the tailing and hacking, or just the tailing and hacking for that. If they make a Watch Dogs 2. I'm sorry, I'm just busy rambling. But I think I'm basically done with this game, and I might trade it into GameStop for maybe like the Dark Souls 2 Season Pass, which comes with like 3 big DLCs that are all going to be up by September. So you might actually see another Dark Souls 2 review in October from me. It's called The Lost Crowns. It's a 3-part DLC. I hope it's going to kick ass. I expect it to kick ass because it's going to take place in a snowy, icy field, which really has never been in a Souls game before. They've never had an icy, snowy world, so I'm definitely getting it. Because when I got Watch Dogs at GameStop, it came with like a trade this game in for $30 by June 26th, and my birthday's the 25th, and I'll be getting another game, so I might as well just trade it back in to GameStop, get $30 trade, spend 25 of that on the Dark Souls 2 Season Pass, and maybe get like a pre-owned game for $5. So, yeah. Okay, well that's it. That's my extended thoughts or review of the review of Watch Dogs. Sorry. Coming up next on my channel. I've been playing another Namco Bandai free-to-play, but pay-to-play hybrid, whatever the fuck. It's called Ace Combat Infinity. And I'll be doing a review of that. Hopefully, I'll be doing a review of that in about a week or so. And then I'll also be doing a review of whatever game I get for my birthday. Whatever new game I get for my birthday, excuse me. Either like Murdered Soul Suspect or like Enemy Front or something. It's gonna be one of those. Anyway, I'll be doing a review of that next month. And yeah, stay tuned and thank you for watching. The Gamer Gods! Fail!